Okay, so I just wanted to make a small video on this only because I find it really dumb still.
So in China, there were some groups that tried to sabotage Phainon.
I don't want to play the audio, I just want to show things. I hate that this is still an issue going on in Star Rail that has persisted from Honkai 3rd. So to put into perspective, this issue started with the idea of firstly Adam / the protagonist of APHO in Honkai 3rd appearing at all, which made a point of people coming out of the woodwork being upset about playable men. And then Kevin Castellano was made playable in the main story for small sections, and people were very verbal about being upset at the idea of playable men. And now the final kind of instance of something akin to this was that in part 2, the Dream Seeker, you could play them as male and it was optional, and they ended up removing that function because for some reason in Honkai 3rd people just really don't want playable men, and it's really bizarre. And to me it's always held the game back, because they've got these incredible male characters that they could market, which would then encourage them to include them more in the story. But because some of the community is so upset about the idea of playable men, and is so hyper-focused on the women in the game, we have less opportunity to explore the characters and dynamics that the characters could have in this specific entry of the series. And now people are angry about it in Star Rail, even though the game literally released with multiple playable men available and have got a majority women cast. Like, there are still way more women than there are men in Star Rail. So why are they trying to boycott this boy? If they pay attention to the story, what the hell is the point? This just feels like the biggest incel argument someone could make. Oh, I don't want playable men, so let's boycott the banner. It doesn't matter how the story expands on them. It's because it's a man that we don't want it. How absolutely pathetic. What the hell? Why would you do that? What the hell do you get from it? If anything, shouldn't you be relieved that you get a moment to save pulls towards characters you might care about more? If you're really exclusively only aiming to pull women on your account, that's kind of weird. As a woman, I judge it a little bit. It seems like a very bizarre thing to do and get upset about across, towards the company who creates the game and hinder the fun of other people. You can handle your account however you want. Don't be upset about the release schedule. I also love that it doesn't matter that people are attempting to boycott it because it's just not working, because Phainon has sold. We'll never get the true stats of how well Phainon has sold, but that boy has sold well. He has done well. People assume that he could have the best performing banner in the game so far, or second best. Good, as he should. He's been the focus he's been present throughout all of Amphoreus' story. Notice that updates focus on the characters they're normally advertising and have the banners tied to. It's because it makes them more marketable. There is also the story element, but if they couldn't make money on it, they wouldn't focus on it as much. There's a reason why, in Honkai Impact 3rd, Welt is not really much of a focus, despite how important he is to the story. Any male protagonists tend to get less focus and screen time versus any of the female ones, because they're playable, meanwhile the male ones just aren't and can't be because the community reacts so poorly. And it's a shame. Why do you want to handicap Star Rail to do the same thing? I'm glad that people have made it clear since the beginning of Star Rail, Welt's playable. You can get him. So yeah, he has involvement with the story. Dan Hung, really focus in the story. He's one of the main leads. He has got 2 playable versions currently, but there's a very real chance now that he's getting another playable variant that I'm hoping will be the next free unit they're mentioning, because I don't think they'll make March free as much as I want them to. But either way, it's the idea of, hey, look at this character. We like the story. We enjoy writing. we can integrate this character that we're potentially going to make money off, which will then fund more development into the game. We're going to make them the focus of this story, to advertise them, and as well make a cool story. So you guys put money into the game to get them, so we can then move that money back around. If you don't like it, don't spend money, but don't encourage boycotts. It's really pathetic. It seems to be a really vocal minority in the CN community. I haven't really seen it in the English community anywhere near the same amount as I've seen it in CN. This video just reminded me it was an issue that's going on. I don't like videos like this typically. There's a reason why I'm not playing it while, talking about this. And there's a reason why I would have kept the video on screen. I'll have got the comments from it, and that's about it. I saw a video talking about CN groups trying to sabotage the banner. I love that it's not worked. I think it never should be really a debate of whether or not you should sabotage something just because you don't like it. It's not a good reason. And yeah, to Phainon's banner and him succeeding, because he deserves it. I love what they've done with Amphoreus' story. I love the way that they write characters. I personally don't mind what gender they are as long as they're well written. Just like I don't mind the people I become friends with. Their personal circumstances don't bother me. And you can learn a lot about it. If all the characters were only women, it limits the potential of the story. And that's the thing that bothers me. Because our opinions are shaped by our experiences. Gender's a part of that. There's expectations on genders. There's a view of how you have different interactions if you're both women versus a man and a woman potentially speaking depending on the subject versus two men speaking about a subject versus any other identifiable gender being discussing that. Same goes for sexuality and other traits that are personal to you. We should realistically want representation of just how people can be and how they can communicate with each other. It enables more for the story. I don't like the idea of shoeboxing it, which is why I think that this idea of boycotting specifically male characters is really dumb. I hope that they keep selling super well. I hope that the members of the CN community who want boycotting of specific characters get to be upset about that fact. That's a them problem. They're the only ones that aren't really on board. The rest of us can have fun with what we're experiencing, with Phainon being a very good boy that we appreciate and I will be using for many years. Let's go.